Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pelletier Craft Studio. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 mistakes that people make when they're using their die cut machine. Guilty. What can I say? I've been making some of these mistakes as well. In fact, you're going to find that sitting right here, I've already made one, and I've just now realized that I didn't do it. So, I'm going to have to depend on my trusty Cindy, and I'm going to ask her to get me a sheet of adhesive. You know, the kind that you put on your paper before you do your die cutting. We're going to go over some of these mistakes that people often make because it's super important. And not only that, but ching, we're going to save us a little bit of money when we do it. So let's take a look at what's on my crafting table so that you can see why these things are important. So this month, Cindy and I are going to be doing our card class. And in our card class, we are going to be doing die cuts. So, of course, I want everybody to know how to do their die cut. And I want them to know that the best way to do your die cuts so that we have less mistakes, but more importantly, our die cuts come out looking really good. So, in our effort to get things started, I want to show you what we're doing. So, this month in card class, everybody is going to get the Christmas Wonder. Now, I want you to take just 5 minutes and I want you to look at the pictures. Aren't they cute? They are so gorgeous. Now, I want you to look at them in real life. Now, I know this one's a little hard to see, but you can see it's a Christmas present. So this is what most of you get when you do a die cut. But I am going to teach you how to do a die cut, and this does need to be on another color piece of paper. So let me see what I can do about finding one. There's me one. So here you go. Look at the difference in these poinsettias. I mean, that one's all flat. It's cute, but look at how gorgeous this poinsettia is, okay? It's got different colored leaves. I mean, it's just beautiful. And then look at this. See, that's a cute little present. But look at this one. It's got dimension, it's got color, it's got design in it. So at the card class this month, I'm going to be teaching you how to go from humdrum die cutting to, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So this is the one that you're going to be getting for free. You're going to be getting some glitter foam. Oh my God, do you know how to die cut glitter foam? Oh dear. Well, we're going to have to learn. We're going to have to teach you. The other thing is we're going to show you this gorgeous, this is kind of like the base of that set, and it comes with this envelope. Look how beautiful the inside of it is. But wait until I show you how to make these flowers really pop. And you can get this as a bonus part of your club, but you don't have to because Cindy and I are going to take care of you. So we did a cute little card using this, and it was so cute. And I took the time to do a few little special things with it, but nothing really big. But I did do some special things with these dies so they didn't look quite so humdrum, right? All right, so today we're going to be working on this one. And we're going to take and we're going to do a Halloween card. I mean, who are we kidding? Spook babies right around the corner, right? So, in making our Halloween card, I'm going to teach you a few of the things that people make mistakes with when they use their die cuts while I'm cutting out a few of these products to put on our card. I want to show you the card that I've already made. Isn't this cute? I mean, Halloween isn't Halloween if you don't have things like, well, you got to have a ghost, right? I mean, who are we kidding here? Without a ghost, it's not Halloween, right? So you got to have a ghost. I have a ghost. And my ghost is saying boo. So you got to have something that's going to say something cute. I'm bringing you in just a little bit. There you go. And then you got to have some candy corn. So I got candy corn on here. We got to have a black cat. Black cat's real important. So is the rest in peace. What did I just throw on the floor?
Are you throwing things?
I am. Oh no. Oh no.
What?
I might have just thrown my dies on the floor.
Uh-uh.
Catch cotton.
Oh no.
God, let's look. Let me look. Oh, Cindy, I am missing some of my dies.
I
Oh.
think so.
What you mean you don't think so?
I found them on your tray.
Oh my goodness, look at this. So, Cindy has found the dies. Cotton didn't get them.
Phew.
And she's put them on the inside of my metal tray. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's so important for us. Anyway, it's got my rest in peace, my cat, and some bats. Okay? So this is the card that we're going to make. But what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you some of the mistakes that people make when they are doing their die cutting. One of them is losing their dies. So instead of losing our dies today, let's make sure that we keep them where we can find them. I'm going to put them right here. Well, now you guys can't see it.
Keep them away from cotton.
Keep them away from Cotton. That Cotton boy, she does love to play with the craft room. All right, so here's my dies. So let's get started. Oh, look, Cindy's also found the card that we did when we did our autumn card. And as you can see, I've decorated a few of these, but I have by no means done anything close to what we're going to be doing for our card club. And after all, it's not fair to show you guys everything when the wonderful people in my card club are supporting my business. They're actually the reason I get to eat in the mornings, okay? And honey, they ain't but one thing I love more than eating. You know what that is?
What?
Eating.
Well, you don't eat that much anymore. What
I
are you
don't
talking
eat as
about?
much as I used to, but I do still eat. Okay, so let's take a look first at what we're going to be talking about. So this is going to be, and I have got way too much light in here. Let's start with the blind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to show you some of the mistakes that we make when we're making our die cuts. So one of the things that we do is we come in here and we put our dies down. Now, you've seen me do this. You've seen me make this mistake. I put my die down, and then I go, oh, wait a minute, I can cut all these out. So I put another die down, and then I go, oh, wait a minute, I can get this one done too. And I come in here and I put another die down. So now what happens is when I get ready to do my die cut, my machine's running along and running along, running along, hits the card, and then immediately it's going to hit these dies. And when it hits these dies, the pressure has to very quickly adjust so that it will be bringing it right on down, and it will make the cut even and sophisticated. So the deal that I want to show you is that when you're doing things like these pieces, it's not such a big deal because they're not a detailed cut. But if you're using something that is a detailed cut, then you definitely have an issue there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make these cuts without messing up your train or the way it's coming down and the way it's going to be pulling each one of the pieces and die cutting. Cindy, you scare me to death back there. I don't know what she's doing. All right, so
I'm bringing down your light a little bit so it's not so bright.
Well, that's the way I need it not so bright. You're right. All right, so now let me show you that you got to make sure you got the right sandwich. Now, Spellbinder is perfect in the Platinum 6 in telling you all of the things that you need to do a die cut. I need my platform. I need my platform top. That's this one. And then I'm going to need a cutting plate. That's this one. Then it recommends putting my paper down, my die cuts down, and then it says for me to put down an additional cutting plate. So there we go. And then we're going to just roll it through. Now watch. As it's going through, watch right here. You're going to see it hits the paper, and then it hits the dies, and that cut starts to happening. Now, if it's so hard that you have to force it through, then your plate's not right and you have a mistake, okay? So, number one, notice how I lined all of my pieces up. That means that as they are lined up, they are not going to be having to distribute any of the weight anywhere other than just in the center of the plate. Now, it's working in the center of a plate is not quite as important when you're using something like the Platinum 6 or any of the 6-inch plates. But when you go to using these ones that are larger, like the 8.5-inch plate that goes, if you don't put these dies in the right place, then you're going to have a misdistribution of your plates, and the next thing you know, you're going to be having some problems with things cutting out on the side, but not cutting out on the opposite side. I mean, there's just all kinds of things that will happen. Now, as you can see, my piece here cut out very easily. You just watched me while I was talking. Just brush my pieces off right over here on the side. They'll end up on the floor. Cotton will get them. Don't worry about it. And then I have this all ready to use again. Same thing was true when I did my ghost. As you can see, Cindy's back there waving somebody away, and my light keeps coming in and out. So as you can see, my ghost here has all of the impressions in it, both front and back, and it's really, really easy to be using. So mistake number 1 is coming in here and just loading your piece of paper down with a bunch of different dies. Now, I can still use this piece of paper again. It's not all lost at this point. I can continue to use it. And one of the ways that I can continue to use it is I can come back in here and I can put down my piece of candy. Now, notice I'm going to put my piece of candy down kind of at an angle. And by putting it down at an angle, it's going to help me be sure that I can get the distribution to go gradually and not all at once. So there we go. We're going to do that. And what else do I want to do? I forgot what my card looked like. Oh, I got it. We're going to also need to do my rest in peace. I think that'll fit right there. So as you can see, I'm not wasting any of my card. I'm using all of it. And I'm using all of it in a very smart kind of way. And we'll put us a bat. Oops. Make that go at an angle. And we're going to put my bat at an angle as well. Okay? So this is going to be my next cut. And again, notice I'm still using the same card. I am just distributing my pressure so that it will be all in one place. So there we go. Let's whoop. My rest in peace has slid off the page. There we go. Now, using things like washi tape or a Post-it note and those kind of things, that is not a problem. It's often a good idea to do it if you're going to be die cutting something and you don't want things jumping around. All right, so one more thing I want to talk to you about, and then we're going to be done with this, is we're going to talk about the difference between die cutting something that is thin versus die cutting cardstock. So in this case, I die cut cardstock, and cardstock is a little easier to die cut than it is if you're going to be die cutting something that's really soft, like copy paper, or even your craft paper that is just paper. And those things, the fibers are wound really tight, and you're going to find that they will give you difficulties in your die cutting. When I say difficulties, I mean that the fibers are tight, and so it may give you a little bit more trouble in getting your die cuts to go all the way through. So notice that I am putting all of my die cuts over here on my little metal plate. These are going to be available probably by Friday in my store, so you can get these little plates to put your dies on the inside of as well. All right, now let's go to mistake number 2. And mistake number 2 comes around when we start doing things like die cutting pieces that are spongy. Or in this case, since we're going to be using it in our class, since we're going to be using it in our class, let's talk about die cutting foam. Now, one of the things about die cutting foam is that your foam is spongy. And so many people think, oh my God, my foam is spongy. In order for me to get it to work, I got to roll it through, and then I got to roll it back. I got to roll it forward and roll it back. Got to roll it forward, roll it back. And what you're doing every time you do that is you are creating a movement forward. Within the sponge pops up, the die pops up on the sponge. So we're going to say we're cutting this. And I roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. And then we pop it forward. And when it pops forward, and then I start coming back the other way, when it goes down, it's probably not going to go down in the same place. And so now you got that little two-cut thing going on. So my recommendation to you is that when you are cutting something like foam, you just push it straight through one time. You don't bring it back, okay? So for those of you that are going to be in my class, you're going to get a much more detail on each one of these. And that's because we're going to have a lot longer to talk about it and a lot longer to make sure we get it right. So remember, when you're cutting foam, you move it forward and you do not move it back. The next part that we're going to be talking about is, well, we've already talked about the pressure and we've talked about the weight of the paper. So the next one they're going to be talking about is number 4. And number 4 is thinking ahead. This is the one where I make all my mistakes. And I'm just going to tell you, I literally make all my mistakes. So when you are die cutting, it is a good idea to think ahead about what you're doing. For example, if I'm going to be die cutting this piece of paper, and I know that what I'm die cutting is going to be very fine or very small, then I'm going to want to make sure that I don't have to go grabbing all of these little pieces of glue to make it work. So what I am going to be doing is I'm going to prep my paper first. Now, to prep my paper, in this case, I'm going to be, see how I cut all those little bitty fine pieces out? Can you imagine having to adhere those down? So if I were thinking smart, I would take my piece of paper, and this is adhesive paper, which means it's sticky on both sides. And I'm going to pull it off so that I've got one sticky side showing. And I'm going to come in here, and all I'm going to do is put down my piece of paper and give it a light pressing. Now that, I'm going to stick my fingers to the paper, but anyway, that is going to give me the stickiness that I need, because when I take the paper off again, it's going to be sticky on both sides. So it's going to make me putting together my my die cut a lot easier. I'm not going to have to worry with all of those little bitty pieces. Now, in this case, I also don't want to do everything in purple. So I'm going to take another piece of paper and I'm going to tear it. Now notice I am not overlapping. I'm just laying it down beside it. There's no overlap there. There's no gap there. And more importantly, there is nothing sticky there. So at this point, I want to get off all of this stickiness. Otherwise, this stickiness is going to stick to my machine, and I don't want that either. So what I have done is I have a pair of, get this, Teflon scissors. Teflon scissors don't get sticky. So that means that I can take my scissors, I can trim off all of this stuff, and my scissors are not going to get all sticky and gooey. Now, if you want to know where to get these from, you'll also be able to order these at Pelletier Craft Studio, but why not get them with a whole kit? And the kit that I'm talking about is our Essential Toolkit. Now, on the inside of our Essential Toolkit, you're going to get things like a ruler that folds up, and it opens up to a 12 by 12. So now I have a 12 by 12 ruler. It also shows me the angles, so I know that's a 120 degree angle, that's a 90 degree angle, that's a 60, that's a 30. So I've got my angles on here as well. I love this ruler. You're also going to be getting your file so that you can do your conditioning for your stamp sets. Let's forget that we have 2 ways of doing in our conditioning. You're also going to get your pink eraser, which will help you. You're going to get a pair of your tweezers. Yours will be reverse tweezers, and you're going to get a pickup tool. You're also going to be getting a pair of these wonderful scissors, which I am telling you is Teflon. They're going to be on the inside of it too. I'm going to have to get one of the girls to give me one of the sets straight out of the store because, and I'll show you that on another day. And the reason that I'm saying that is because I have added other things to my kit. Let me show you what I mean. That's essential to me. I got to have a bone folder, but I figure at this point in your life, everybody's got a bone folder. I've also put me in a sand eraser. I've come back and put me in an adhesive eraser. Little mad money, little cash on the side. And those are the things that I wanted on the inside of it extra that doesn't come with the full kit. And of course, I'll keep my scissors on the inside of it as well. So let's go back to our project now. Commercial's over. Woohoo! Let's go back to our project now. I want to trim this a little bit off. And this edge over here is actually just paper because they give me an end to hold on to. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to be positioning my dies when I get ready to put them down. So I've got that done for myself. And it also makes a difference when I get ready to run it through my machine. So what kind of things am I going to want to be in my gorgeous color here is that I want to do my sign. I want my boo. I want to do this piece, but I want it to be in purple. And I also want to do the word boo. I'm going to do the word boo in orange. So here we go. Now remember, we're going to be using all of this, but we don't want to come in here and make the mistake that we talked about in the very, very beginning. So here you go. I'm going to do that. Oh, I want to make this. I'm going to do that in orange. I want to make my circles, so I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to do it here. And I'm also going to want to do my candy. And candy's not candy if, I want to remember now, we talked about I want to do it at an angle. And candy's not candy unless it's got its pretty little stripes on it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to need a piece of my watermelon here. Excuse me. That ain't a watermelon. That is a pumpkin. And then I'm going to want to use this because this is the stripes that go on my candy. All right. So there's all of my pieces. It's got some tape on the back of it. There you go. Now remember, we're making it so that nothing is coming straight in. Everything's coming in at an angle, so it gives it an opportunity to adjust the pressure as we're coming in. So we're going to put my plate down, and we're going to start doing our roll. Now remember, because we've situated everything so that it's a little bit more distributed, it is going to be coming at an angle. And my paper's a little bit thicker because I've added my adhesive here, which you're going to see is a total lifesaver. Now, am I going to run this back through? No, we're done. We're done. So let's get this off here. All right. There's my pieces. See how great they are about coming out? They're all out. These are all out. Got a little bit of that one left. But that's okay. They're out now. I just had to tap it a little bit. These are all out. They're all ready. There's my rest of those. This piece is in, but all I got to do is just tap it and it pops right out. Same thing with this one. All I have to do is just tap it and it'll pop right out. Ding! Somebody's talking to me. Okay, there we go. All done. So now let's take a look at exactly how easy it is to put these pieces together. So this is the one that I found would be the most difficult to do. And the reason it's so difficult to do is, hey, I've done this thing one time. I know about difficulties. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this piece of candy right here. I'm going to start off. Remember, I've got my sticky on the back. If I need to stick it straight down, I can. But the thing that I want to do is I want to pull these little bitty pieces off. All I want to do is take the white piece off the back. First, I got to have it in my hand. I'm going to take the white piece off the back. And it just pops right off. And I'm going to pull this off. Now, what I'm going to do is put it down. So, let me get my tools. And I'm going to stick it to the end. There we go. And I'm going to put it down right here. Move it around where I want it to be. Oh, look at there. It's already stuck. It's in place. Yay. Now, go and get my next one. Do the same thing with it. Just pop off the back. This time I'm going to be a little smarter about it. Not going to put it all over my fingers first. And then when I get ready to put this down, it goes right here. There we go. My dies are safe for the meantime because Cotton is chasing something else. Alright, so we're going to pull this one off, same way. Come in here and put this on my little sticky thing. And then we're going to come back in here and put it down. Move it over, put it down. We're going to move that one over and put it down. There you go. So you can see how much easier it is to come in here and put these pieces down than it would be if I had to come in here and put these pieces down with adhesive. If I were doing this with adhesive, it'd be all over my fingers. And the fact that I'm using my little tool here, I'm not having to worry about having it everywhere in my on my piece of paper as well. So that one goes there. Okay, let's see. We're on the hunt here. I got another piece that's got away. That one's not it. That one's not it. That one's not it. Well, it's just going to have to come up as we're playing. And you know it always does. If it doesn't come up while we're on video, it'll come up after we're off. So here we go. We're going to do this big one round right here. And this round one is just as difficult to put down as those little bitty pieces that I was doing a while ago. Because it's round doesn't mean that it's any easier to get positioned. So I'm just pulling off my piece, putting this back on here, and I actually want it to go in the middle of this. And so as you see, I just determined where I want it to be, and I come back in here and place it and put it down. And ladies, it's down. It's ready. It's ready to rock and roll. So the other thing that we want to do is we want to put our boo on here. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pull the orange part of it off. Again, this is also going to be super easy because I've got my sticky already on the back. I totally love adhesive sheets, guys. So if you haven't got any, we've got that in our store as well. And you will find that you can get your adhesive sheets there. They're super great. Okay, so we're going to grab back into the back side of this. And we're going to put it down right here. Now, the other part of putting this down is that when I get ready to put this down on my card, it's going to be easy to do as well because all I've got to do is pick up the sticky sheet off of the back of the pieces that I've already got made, and then I can very easily stick it to my card. So really, really, really liking my adhesive sheets. I just have to remember to use it, and I am terrible about not remembering to use it. Okay, so there you go. I've got those pieces already ready to rock and roll when I get ready to put them on my card. Now, if you're in our card club, you're going to see me take all white paper in my card club, and I am going to make it into these kind of designs. But you got to be in card club to see me do that. So I want to give all of you the opportunity to look at this gorgeous card that we have made just by doing straight die cuts. But if you want to watch me take these die cuts and do them from white paper, which is the pieces that I've got cut out here, and make them into these kind of special pieces, or in Card Club, we'll be taking these beautiful die cuts here and making gorgeous stand-up flowers here. And we're also going to be taking things that are just a regular plain cut and making them into beautiful cuts with beautiful details on the inside of it. So there you go, ladies. This is going to conclude our class for now, but it's given you an opportunity to see the 5 mistakes that you might make. Number 1, you want to be sure that you're using the right sandwich, and the right sandwich includes using the right weight of paper. Number 2 is how to cut foam. Remember, you just go one way. Number 3 is positioning. You want to make sure that you position your dies in the center and you're rolling them in so they're coming in at an angle. It will make your rolling more easily. Number 4 is think ahead. Oh, that adhesive sheet. Got to get those adhesive sheets on there. And number 5, and probably most important, is not to lose your negative. Oh, but I didn't show you about the negative, did I? Well, I can take my negative pieces and I can use them to make some awesome designs. Watch. Let's say that I want to do a circle on a piece of paper. Well, here's my circle. Don't look now, because in just a minute that circle is going to be on my piece of paper. The thing that I like about doing this is, see, I can just roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. That part's done. But what if I want to do the circle in the middle of it? I can do that too. Let me get me out another sponge. And now we're going to just take a roly, 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 roly. And we're going to put this in the middle of it. Now, remember, I had my sticky on the back of this. So I could very easily pull the sticky off the back of this and stick it on here, but I really don't need to, because now I have another piece of candy. So don't throw away your negatives, guys. You can use it as well. That does conclude our class. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in our card club. If you're not in our card club, all you need to do is go to PelletierCraftStudio.com/event and get signed up. Looking forward to seeing you then. Have a dynamite day. Bye, guys.